Hi, Sorry Cat from Thailand. Hi, I'm just saying it again. Sorry Cat from Thailand. How are you doing today? Sorry Cat. True Blue Tie here from Thailand, just to do a Man City review of the Palace. Bit late, the better late than never. It's 1 Jan here in Thailand. Samsip Awan 30 degrees. On Monday afternoon, about 2ish. For again, we'll do it in the morning. I do apologise. I didn't do one yesterday, pure and simple as it's good as well, because again I feel a lot better because of what's happened. So, what's it called with the other results? So it's actually pecked me up a little bit more than what I was, and with what happened at United. So so I feel a better and a bit more positive. And so for instance, but the main reasons why I didn't do it is because I got a bit of toothache. Oh yeah, getting old. Getting old. Bit of toothache, and so I've had for instance, catch a tooth, and it's exposing a nerve, and I should get down to the 10 lane dentist. That's Danish, that's 10 lane, but I haven't done so. I also go so, and ow, there it goes again. So I didn't feel up to it yesterday. But I feel a lot fresher today, even though I can still feel the pain. So have mercy on me. Have mercy. Anyway, sorry, Gab. How are you doing today? How are you? How are you feeling about City and the result against Palace? Are you in the negative corner? Are you in the positive corner? Or are you in the middle corner? The middle corners, not middle corners, in the middle. So, for instance, where are you? Me personally, for instance, I'm in the positive corner, and you probably know me. For instance, you probably realise that I'm quite a positive person. That's no surprise. But I have reasons to be so, for instance, because quite honestly, for instance, I'm a realist, and I realise exactly where we are at the moment as a football team, as a Manchester City football team, as compared to we were, because we're not the same team as we were 2 years ago or two seasons ago, like even last season, because of injuries and elder players, and it's having a detrimental effect on our recruitment is bad, and it's had a detrimental effect on our football team, as well as the amount of games. So it's a combination of things. We're not the only team to go through it. So, but at the moment, etc., it is actually having a detrimental effect on our team. So, but I'll probably explain it a bit more on my thinking and my rationalization of realization of things which you probably already know anyway. I'm not preaching to stupid people, for instance, or because you probably know. But I'm trying to kind of, if you people have got some bit of negativity about things, etc. I'm just trying to want to keep things into more of a context thing, just to kind of like, feel a bit. I feel like I'm Blue Tone, for instance, on LB show, for instance, with Martin and LB. And LB is a bit new, and Blue Tone. Come on, and I feel I'm in that corner because again, I just want to look at the whole thing, the whole perspective, the whole Premier League. What's happening at City? What's happening with what? Why are things happening? And then putting that into context, and then going into the Premier League as a whole. And take it into context. So, am I disappointed we didn't win? Yes, but we didn't lose either. We're breaking a spirit. For instance, a losing team, a losing streak of 4 games, etc. Second is a point. A point is better. An away point is always best. Third, it's against a Premier League side. Premier League side, regardless of their place, you are not to be sniffed at. Arsenal, hello, take point, take note. Fourth, I would say that, for instance, Palace are a good side, got good players. I was listening to Alan and Majestic, stupid name, whatever, and he was saying about how good Palace players are. So, for instance, they are good players. I heard it on Sky Sports, and they were saying the Palace have got players. Not mentioning Manchester City game, but just saying in general the Palace have got good players. When you're looking at the context of the Premier League and the teams in the Premier League, who's in the top half of the league at the moment? Brentford, Forest, Forest, and Bournemouth, etc. You would never said that 2 seasons ago. But again, this is the way the Premier League is at the moment. Okay, they may not have midweek games, but the in like the champions. You don't have Champions League to think about. But the thing is, at the end of the day, we're supposed to have small and weaker squads, and we're supposed to be better because of who we are. But it's not always on the paper. United have probably felt a bit confident about going into the Forest game. Oh, Man City have beaten 3-0. We can do it. And then to lose 3-2, and it's like, and then they what's it called? Then David, what was it called? Gets fired, etc. For United, hey, always good for a laugh, really are. So, for instance, and listened to a United podcast later before it was like the nerve crying. I thought we could go to the Etihad next week and get at least 3 points, but no, I'd be very surprised if we get a point. United always good for a laugh. They really are. Just really cheer you up. Wherever you think when you think life is going, got you down. United, as a City fan, I said to United, always come up with the goods to make you laugh. Spend 10 million quid getting a guy out of Newcastle, or to find out that, for instance, after 6 months, stick him on garden leave for God knows how long. And then after less than 5 months, he's out the door. Kidding me. And then charging £66 for kids, for kids tickets. I heard what's it called? What appears that one guy was still up in the Old Trafford and I said, I'm paying 66 quid for this crap, So, but yeah, in this Jim Radcliffe, I'm sorry, this guy's a fraud. I've heard about what's happening in France. That team in France is Nantes, and and he just talks it through his nose. This guy really does talk nonsense, but he's I'm yeah, for instance, he's a fraud. He really is. He's just stick with the Glazers. He'll be getting a different scarf out next. Jim Radcliffe out Radcliffe out. So yeah, that's actually a bit funny. What scarf are you going to get now? You've had the Norwich City scarf. What scarf are you going to wear now? What's it called? But funny. Anyway, let's move on to the game. So Man City played against Palace. Still a stormy day in England by the looks of it. I saw Everton's game against Liverpool's Castles. I saw the what's it called? The Everton's new ground. Did you see it? My God, Everton's new ground. For instance, Leak got the same roof contractors to do Old Trafford. Leaking. Oh my God. Oh, unbelievable. Brand new stadium's leaking. Okay, but so that was a shock. But I believe that I saw MCF lads, they were going down, big up to them. For instance, going all the way down to London. For instance, just before Christmas time, etc. How much money does it cost you? And what's it called? It appears that they had a nightmare going down because the British transportation system in the UK is shocking. It's the worst. Honestly, I've lived in many different countries, many European countries, and Scandinavian transportation system compared to England is just on a different path. It really is. So, but the guys, big up to the guys who went down and heard you singing Guardiola, for instance, we still their song. I don't care. But it was, so what's it called? So big up to the City fans who went down. Anyway, so for instance, going into the game, we were quite bullish and happy because we've ended our losing streak. And going against Palace, etc., always going to be difficult. They've not been playing particularly well. 1 point, just above their relegation, 3 drop relegation zone, and what's it called? But again, for instance, I've got good players. The new guy, the what's it called? The referee, a manager, for instance, is getting a bit of flack in the beginning, but it seems to stable the ship a little bit. But not playing absolutely fantastic. But I've still got confidence, and I've got that French guy now who's playing well for them. Moon, I think, scored against City as well, so the second goal. Anyway, so but it was 3:00 kickoff for Saturday, which is nice. 10 o'clock for me was the goal, which is not too bad. But for instance, and listening to the City team, hoping and praying that it was going to be the same team as he was. Against Forest with Kanji in but out, and for instance, and Doku was on the bench, and Grealish was not on the bench because I believe it had a bit of a knock. Can't believe it anymore. So for instance, so hopefully we will just go in and we can get 3 points and no injuries going into the Wednesday's game against Juventus. then I'll be happy. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Um, uh, but again, for instance, I thought we started off quite sluggish. I thought they were a lot better than us, but again, it's the home side, what you expect. Um, for instance, the crowd was up, so for instance, but City gradually got into the game, and but just as we were getting into the game, Carl Walker decided to watch uh, the guy on the opposite side, thinking, what is he doing? So I kept playing him on, and then he went on one with Ortega, and he just caught Ortega. I think Ortega got to hand to it, but in a low shot, etc., it was difficult to save. Made it 1-0. So oh no, City have gone behind, not for the first time this season. And then he didn't. I thought we came back into it. I thought we had a really good few chances, but we never what do you call it? Converted any. I thought everything was going down Nunes' side rather than Savinio. I thought Savinio was a little bit ineffective, for instance, and Haaland didn't come in and made it 1-1. Let's just read the teams before we start to go to read the teams. So we had Ortega in the goal, Walker back of Diaz, Diaz, and Guardiola, with Lewis and Gundogan in the middle with De Bruyne, and then we had on the left we had Nunes, and then we had Sabinho on the opposite side with Silva, De Bruyne, yeah, and Haaland up front. So, but I thought, for instance, again, for instance, I thought Sabinho was a little bit ineffective but again, the ball never really went to him. So, for instance, and Doku would have been a lot better. And I think he was a lot better when he came on, to tell the truth. Even though he didn't come on for very long. But Lewis, by the way. Yeah, sorry, I said Lewis. Oh, Peter, wake up. Anyway, so but I thought we got into the game, got a few chances, and we got a nice little pass from Muniz over to the head of Haaland, and Haaland boop, to loop it in to get a equaliser, and I thought good, okay, and then we led that all the way up to the second half. I thought it would come out in the second half. We were all over them in the second half. I think it was not if we wasn't going to score, it was when we were going to score. And then, for instance, they got a break. We got to corner. Corner went, for instance, went up, and the French guy, what's it called? Lacour, whatever, Corcourt, just had it in the net, etc. Another Kyle Walker Bozo, for instance, yeah. Who's this guy behind me? And then, so it was a bit of a disappointment to go 2-1 down, especially after we've had so much possession. But we restored our, I got a draw, the second goal, by a lovely move involving the De Bruyne, not Diaz, and Silva and Lewis, and who I thought we had a good game overall. For instance, to make it to 1-2-2 and going back and kissing the badge, which was always nice. And really, really happy, really delighted to make it 2-2. And I thought it was nothing more than what we deserved. And so overall, I was quite pleased. There was with their boisterous crowd, which I don't mind, but they're a kind of biased crowd. So of course, when Diaz went into a bit of a shoulder charge with what's it called, one of their players, so Diaz is by far our best player again, and I thought, for instance, when he banged it, knocked into him, and the referee gave a foul, which was ridiculous because he was, I think they played for it, but then again I see Jack doing a lot of these things, but for instance, and Lewis reacted quite strongly, which is understandable, and I thought the referee was a bit of a bully, and decided to also go take his started to book Lewis, which I thought was very unfortunate. Not long afterwards, after for instance that, for instance again, the Lewis had put in a sliding tackle. I'm not sure it was, I would get the guy's name. I had it written down, and but he what's it called? He went over Lewis's foot. Unfortunately, the crowd saw it differently and jumped up, which is no surprise. only to find out that, for instance, when he jumped up. Sorry, guys. When he jumped up, etc. For instance, when the referee, even though he had a couple of minutes to think about it, I thought Lewis went over him, and then booked Lewis to give him a second yellow, which was not true, and the Lewis was very unlucky to come off. Yeah, to come off to get sent off. Have a second yellow, which means he'll be missing for United. Um, yeah, so disappointed am I? Yes, 110%. I thought, for instance, Lewis had a half decent game for us. What's it called? And I thought, for instance, he would have stayed on the 11-11. I thought we could have snatched it. So, but Pep made a few what do you call it? Chances. Substitutions with Doku coming on the 79th, and then Jack coming on a bit later at the 86th. Didn't do really much to actually get rid of. I thought Jack played okay, held the ball up, but I thought what's it called at the time. I was quite happy with the point. But there you go. So that was it. So disappointed in one way. Understanding the situation going in, so I was accepted a point going in. Thought we were good enough for the 3 points overall, but with the going back to 10 men and where the situation was, I was quite happy to get away from Selhurst Park with 1 point. So I was fairly happy. I thought the stats also proved the fact that Manchester City were the better team. We had a 68% possession over 32 for Palace. More shots on goal, 6. Off target, 6 to compare to their 1. On target, we had 4-3. So offenses more corners as well. So overall, we were the better team, I thought. My stats for the team, I would have give Ortega, I would have given him a 7.5. Unfortunately, couldn't do anything about the goals really. For instance, even though I think other guys actually mark him down because he let in 2 goals. So, but I'm going to give him a half 7.5. I thought he played well, covered his area a lot well, and teamed up with the defence a lot better and tried to players, trying to forward the game, etc., as much as possible. Walker 3, again, another couple of bozo moments. For instance, and there was, what's it called? There was, I think LB said, even though we're doing our best to support the guy, we said, why does it always seems to be in, when we concede, it always seems to be him involved, or a lot of times. So, and it's the obvious. So, for instance, and he needs basically, for instance, he needs the captain taken off him. Diaz went out of shadow at the captain. He needs a rest and or a bit of coaching to take to one side, get coaching and realization, etc. He's making far too many mistakes. It's costing us games. Diaz, give him 9. I thought he was absolutely superb. Didn't score any goals, etc. But I thought he had a chance. Was scored in the second half where he got the ball. Was it from Nunes? And he went along the line. And I thought when he just, I think he could have shot or whatever, but he could have got a goal. And would have been no surprise for me. We didn't cut it, but I thought it was okay. It was good. Guardiola, average performance. Didn't do anything fantastic. I'll give him a 6. Some people are cooking him, but I thought considering his previous games, I thought he played okay. Not to the standard he normally plays, but I thought he would have played a good game. Average game. Lewis, I give him an 8. 8 for his goal, 8 for his commitment, 8 for the fact that, for instance, he was robbed. And so overall, for instance, I'll give Lewis an 8. And I thought, yes, he got muscled off the ball a few times, and that was blatantly obvious. Okay, so what's it called? People are going to say, oh yeah, but he lost the ball a few times. Yes, he did. True. But, for instance, he gets stuck in. He doesn't make himself invisible like some players. He gets stuck in. And he's a young lad. He's playing a hell of a lot more games than what he's supposed to be doing. But I give him, an 8, for his efforts. Gundogan, I give him a 7. I thought he played okay. Good passes. Again, playing in a situation not his. In a 6 role, it's not. It was, and playing the amount of games. De Bruyne, give him a 7. Average performance, didn't do very much to light up the game or change the game, but solid performance. Silva 7.5, all over the place as usual. I thought it was a backup to Nunes. I thought Nunes, when Lewis lost the ball, he backed up a lot, but I thought Nunes did lose the ball a few times, etc. But he was always there, keeping the ball into play. Uh, yeah. Savinho, I give him a 6. That's quite ineffective. What's it called? But again, it's not his fault. Nunes, again, I give him a 6, etc. Average performance. For some people, I thought would have probably give him a higher. I didn't. I thought he was. Again, for instance, there was some stupid mistakes by some of the players. He let one of the ball under his leg and just went off. I saw Guardiola doing the same thing. I thought there was some of the control of the balls, maybe the conditions. Don't know, but again, it's basic football. And then I would give Haaland an 8, pure and simple for his goal, for his commitment, for his trying to make things happen. So yeah, but overall the Pep, I would say to give him a 7, etc. Again, I was disappointed with the team starting line, but I thought it would be the same team as Forest, with Grealish was making a massive difference in the midfield. But if Grealish is not 100% fit, so I can understand why that did. But Doku could have gone a bit earlier for Savinho, yeah, but but that's it really. But again, I've come out from Selhurst Park with a point. Very delighted for that. No teams in the English Premier League is easy. So, for instance, I'd rather win than being United lose at home. So what's it called against Forest? But and also with Arsenal drawing again. I'm not saying Man City are in the Premier League title race, but I thought, for instance, it's going to be a lot of twists and turns, and it's like going to be a roller coaster of a season. There's going to be teams beating other teams. There's going to be teams, surprise results all the time, all the way through the season. I think, but the amount of games coming into the players, the pre-seasons, the Champions League games, I think it's going to be a lot of boom, boom, boom. So, and if you can go on a good run, then, for instance, in the top, City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, then you got a good chance of winning the Premier League. But at the moment, etc., I think there's going to be a lot more twists and turns. So don't lose away. Stop that. Get a point. Stop that. Put a credible performance in. Stop that. Did that. For instance, the goals disappointed in, but overall happy. So disappointed the fact we're going to miss Lewis, another player out for United, and yeah. So, but he can play on Wednesday. I think he can play against Champions League. But yeah. But other than that, I'm happy. For instance, overall. So, but don't know about you. What do you think? Smash a like in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. What's on your mind? Are you happy with my assessment? Probably what people won't, but again, I'm trying to put things in contestment of where we are today. Anyway, I'm going to get going. So sorry, Cap from Thailand. Sorry about this a bit late stream, but fortunately, bear with me. I have a toothache. So sorry, Cap from Thailand. Hope you're doing well. So happy wherever you are. Stay safe in the storms or wherever. Anyway, take care, guys. Thank you. Come, Cap.